Welcome to Masculine Scrapping. Today I'm going to be working on a project, actually, that I was not at. It is for my son. Around New Year's time of 2022, he helped cater a very fancy party in Florida. And this is a project of pictures from that event that he sent to me. So you can see them prepping here, prepping the food, etc. So basically I'm making this spread to look like a table setting, and I'm actually matching some of what's in the pictures. Notice there's a floral pattern here on these plates. I have done that here, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But first things first, for this project, because I'm going to be splitting it across the middle, there's a piece I like to do first that helps me hold it together. I'm just going to use straight cellophane tape, and I'm going to tape the back of this together. I'm doing that because I want to make sure that everything lines up on both pages. So I build it together, and then I will use my cutting tool and just cut right down the middle, and it'll help everything hold together. So I am going to try and get all the elements in place, and then we'll go from there. I created this title block using my Cricut machine and the pen and writing function. I do not like my handwriting, and so using that, I think, really has turned it out nicely. One of the things I wasn't thinking too much about when I designed is that this is going to get cut in half, so I've got to be careful to place it in a way that it doesn't cut it too bad, which right there might look good. Those will go there. I'm going to put those on last, and then our silverware. So I created a placemat. All of these pieces were made using the Cricut machine, and we have this placemat here. This took a long time to cut out, but I really like the way that it looks, and I'm just going to tape it down with some double-sided adhesive tape. But I need to make sure that this one lines up very, very carefully. So all right, there we go. I think I got it. Okay, so I'm not worrying about these parts, that they will be held in place, but I do want to now tape this whole piece. And notice I'm getting it right down the middle. I'm getting it a couple of times because that's where it's going to get cut in half. And I want to make sure I have enough tape around the cut marks. Alright, let's see, to make it simple, I think I'm going to put it right there. Notice I'm lining it up right along the middle of these pieces so that it will cut nicely. Alright, this plate, now this is interesting, the pieces, this is a slightly different color, and notice when I put it together, it kind of all of a sudden feels like it's giving it some depth. And I created this using my Cricut machine. These are the pen functions, so I use this holly wreath to match the plates over here, and then this is the piece that gives it some dimension. This is all done with the Cricut pen. Pen feature, I had to change the pen out 3 times to get that, and then it cut. And then you'll notice there's a gold rim around the plates, and then this piece as well. It matches the gold rim that's on the picture. So I'm going to put some tape on this circle piece. Again, see, it just looks like a flat thing there. When you put this in, all of a sudden it starts to look like it has some depth, so it looks like a plate. And I'm not going to tape this down yet because I need to get this a napkin on here. Now, if you can look at this, this is a white piece of cardstock. It is a little textured, and I used a sewing machine to put this seam in here. Basically, it makes it look like it's a piece of linen. Not sure if you can. There we go. You can see it in the pictures. But I use my sewing machine to do that. If you have interest in that, there is a video that we'll try and link to here that you can watch how I did that. Notice I've left the string or thread here on. I need to fix that, so I'm just gonna fold it over and use a piece of cellophane tape to hold it in place. You don't want to cut it because then it might unravel. So there's a piece there. We'll get another piece for the other side. I'm just taping it down. That'll help hold it in place. And the reason I wanted to do this first before putting the plate down is that I need part of it to go underneath the plate so it doesn't overlap things too much. So I'm going to use quite a bit of tape here because I've got the cellophane tape and I want to make sure that it doesn't. There we go. There, I'm happy with that. Now let's get the plate down. Again, I'm going to put quite a bit down the middle because this will end up getting cut in half. So I've got to make sure I'm doing this well. There we go. There's my plate. Now to get my silverware on. This was all cut using the Cricut machine. I don't do those pieces on the videos because it does take a while to do that, and there are videos, not on my blog yet, but there are videos that people have made about how to use your Cricut machine, and so I don't do that part on here. It would make these videos really long because that really adds time to the project. Notice I got a little bit of the tape stuck over. I'm just going to use my finger and bend it over, and it's out of sight. So we'll put the fork in the right place. Didn't come with a spoon, sorry. Okay. We haven't taped this down yet. So the same thing, quite a bit there in the middle. And I think I'm going to do it, if I do it right on that end, it's going to cut it in half. That centers it. If I do this, I think I'm just going to center it and it'll end up getting cut in half. Use the side of my hand to push that down because I don't want any sweat from my palm to smear that ink. Alright, and then that picture's down. Cut piece of photograph. Use that to push this down. I've already matted it using the same colors that are in this part. Again, I did that. It's kind of the not so exciting part of the project. And make sure it's lined up with the other side. This cardstock I chose, it's this just kind of reminds me of fancy table setting. Alright, so there is the page. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. This is my paper cutter. Fiskars. I like using these rotary blades because they don't rip your paper, and when you have multiple things like this, they can get ripped. So the circle is just cutting through them, and because this has got so many layers and it's thick, I'm just going to do it a couple of times so we get it all the way through. There we go. Ta-da! Now it can fit the plastic page protectors. And when it's together, there it is. So, New Year's celebration with a little catering action. My son made some pretty good money from this event, and I think he will appreciate these pages. So, one thing I will do is just make sure that everything on the edge is stuck well. And, okay, see how I'm doing that? There we go. Looks like it's good. Take care. Thanks for watching. Would be loving to see your projects. Take care.